I done kind of started playing a game with myself. I know when certain people start texting me and it's low vibrational people, something good must be about to happen. There's gotta be a test. Something good about to happen. And I just started training myself to look at it like that, and that's really how it be going. Like, everybody not supposed to have access to you because it's taxing on your spirit. It's draining. It's draining. Certain phone calls is draining. Oh. Hello?
Yeah.
What's going on? They about to tell you some bullshit, some bad news. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my ego. You act like you don't care. I don't. It's not that I don't give a fuck. I could just give a fuck less. Maybe that's my ego. You act like you don't care. I don't. It's not that I don't give a fuck. I could just give a fuck less. I care about me.
Right.
Fuck that. I don't want to hear that shit.
Damn.
Some people will do affirmations and say, oh, well, nothing's happening. And, well, there's two things. One, how many times do you do the affirmations, and how many times do you do the grunge thinking that so many people are into most of the day? And the other thing is, who do you need to forget? Because often we have this little thing here we're going to hold on to and we're not going to let go. But that doesn't help us in any way. When a problem comes up, one of the best things to say is, all is well, everything is working out for my highest good, and out of this situation, this so-called problem, only good will come, and I am safe. And you know, this is something that's very powerful. All is well, everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this experience, only good will come, and I am safe. And what that does, it quiets your mind down, or my mind down, long enough for the universe to find a solution for the so-called problem. I mean, how many times a day do people say, this loves me, really loves me? And I'm so grateful and I'm so appreciative of life. And if you're a person that does that a lot, your life has to get better. It has to. Life will find little miraculous ways to bring good into your life.
You come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change. You know, so.
What about your biggest disappointment?
Once again, that's the same analogy. You know, disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privileges I have for being who I am, you know, and not to wear it on my sleeve, be very humble about it. That's one thing my parents taught me very well is, you know, don't wear your reputation, don't wear your accolades, don't wear your, you know, your personality on your sleeve. Let it happen, let it be you. It is who you are. Don't hide from it, but don't wear it and rub it in.
So she asked me to make a list of 10 things that I wanted. Now, I have to tell you, this is through the lens of a 12-year-old who's poor. So in typical fashion, I said I wanted to be a millionaire, which in 1968 was a lot of money, it seemed like. I wanted to have a mansion. I wanted to be a doctor. And it wasn't so much, listen, I was always kind and thoughtful, but I wanted to be a doctor so people looked at me and said, you're okay. I wanted a Porsche. I wanted a Rolex watch. And all of these external material things that so many people in our society think they need. They think somehow if you get this stuff, that's going to fill the void all of us have. And of course it doesn't. And but society is oriented, unfortunately, towards seeking external affirmation with the belief that if you fulfill the societal narrative of success, which is money, power, position, that will then translate into happiness. And of course, this is a story that's been told over and over and over again, and it does not. It doesn't at all. And I think that's a challenge for so many people because they've been sold this narrative, and it's a narrative of unhappiness, and it's a narrative of fear. And I was saying earlier, when you chase things like that, that's because of your own insecurity. And as a result, that activates your sympathetic nervous system, which of course is the flight, fight, or freeze response. And when that happens, actually that has a very negative effect on how your brain functions. but also your peripheral physiology, and can lead to a lot of very significant diseases and decrease your life expectancy. Versus if you shift that narrative, if you will, to the love mode. And what I mean by that is all of us have the ability to actually shift from engagement of our sympathetic nervous system, which is part of our autonomic nervous system, which arises in the brainstem and is distributed throughout all the organs in your body, but especially your heart, to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is really how we evolved to live as a species. It's not that we were stressed every second, we were stressed periodically, and that stress mode was meant to activate in the face of threat and respond, and either you survived or didn't survive, but then you immediately went back to engagement of your parasympathetic nervous system if you survived. That is the system we were designed to live in. That is the system in which you care, which you're rewarded for caring, where you have the release of oxytocin and these other neurotransmitters that activate your pleasure and reward centers when you care for another, especially your offspring, but also within the context of our common humanity. And that is the mode you want to be in, especially if you want to manifest, because that is when your cognitive brain networks, your peripheral physiology work at their best. And that is from the love mode. When you're in that mode, everything changes for the positive. And
the heart mode.
Yes, and the possibilities of having your intention manifest are greatest when you were in that mode. Well, I have to tell you, and I don't want to mislead people, I thought it was a lot of bullshit initially. And the reason is because, of course, I had never been exposed to anything like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, being able to sit and relax your muscles with intention, being able to breathe a certain way to calm your nervous system down were completely new to me. So it took a little while for me to understand that. But once I did understand it, I realized how powerful it was, because I didn't constantly have this negative self-talk going on and this fear constantly. And so, as you know, these types of mindfulness practice, which are very commonly discussed today and have changed millions of lives, are readily available to everyone. And fundamentally, what she taught me was this type of a technique, a relaxation technique, a focus technique, and dealing with the negative self-talk, looking at the world through a lens of compassion. And we talked about visualization. For you to maximally visualize, that means you have to be relaxed, you have to have calm, you have to not look at what I want. And this is the difference for a lot of people, because they have a vision of what they want, but not what they need. As an example, we're talking about possessions. I want a Porsche, I want a Rolex, which was what I did. And they think that if I just get that, I'll be okay. And the problem is that it won't make you okay. And when you're sitting there self-focused saying, if I just have that, I need this, versus, as an example, saying, I want to be a doctor. Now, it's not, I want to be a doctor so everybody looks at me and says how great I am, which is what I did. It's, I want to be a doctor because I want to help people. Those are completely two different narratives. One is, I want to be of service. That is how we were designed as human beings, not I want for me. And when you change how you look at the world, when you change what you want, you realize, one, a lot of what you think you want is worthless, versus what is powerful, what gives a person purpose and meaning, which of course activates every aspect of your physiology, both brain and peripheral physiology, to work at their best, is being of service, being connected, caring for others. And we know through the work of Bob Buettner and the Blue Zones, or the work of Robert Waldinger and the 85-year-old Harvard study, when you care for others, when you look through that lens, everything in your life improves. And that is the place where you also have the ability to maximize the possibilities for your intention to manifest.
How do we manifest based on neuroscience?
How would neuroscience suggest we do that?
When it comes to manifesting, it really is the same thing for anything that you want. So the first step is to identify the feelings. Identify the feelings that you believe the thing that you want is going to bring you. I always say you don't want the thing that you want the feeling that you believe the thing that you want is going to bring you. So for example, if you are wanting a relationship, then the feeling you might be after is to be loved and feel safe and supported. If you're wanting a whole bunch of money, it might be freedom. It might be security, again, safety and security and freedom. Whatever it is, right? So those are a few examples. But whatever it is that you want, write down whatever it is that you want, and then write down the feelings that you believe those things that you want are going to bring you. And then from there, make 2 lists. The first list is a list of reasons why you already have to feel that way. There is another list, and the list is a list of things that you can give yourself that you are in control over to feel that way. Some activities that you can do to give yourself that feeling. And I think combining the 2 is important, right? Because again, acknowledging all the reasons why you already have to feel that way, but then also becoming more aware of things that you can do in the moment to make yourself feel that way. And when you start doing that, I do believe and know that it shifted my energy, right? Like I'm creating now from a different space of feeling more official and accomplished. And so I think that kind of process of identifying the feelings, recognizing all the reasons you already have to feel that way, and then becoming aware of things that you can do to help yourself feel that way even more. When you start doing that, now you have the feelings that you want already. And now you're in a place where you can also be detached from the outcome. It's not going to stop you. You should still go and work toward the thing that you're wanting, right? But that's how you rewire your brain. So that's sort of the neuroscience component. Of course, we could go way deeper into this and talk about this for hours. But this is sort of like my short, condensed 3-step neuroscience component to becoming a match to whatever it is that you want. And now when you're going and working toward the journey, when I was going and working toward 1 million followers, now I'm working toward it with a different energy. I'm working toward it as a match to whatever it is that I want.